The tomb of Niankhkhnum and Khnumhotep, found in Saqqara, Egypt, has puzzled experts for a long time. The main mystery is about the two men buried there and their close connection. Even though the writings and drawings in the tomb don't tell us exactly how they are related, they both had similar jobs serving the king. They were called manicurist of the king and overseer of manicurists of the palace, which means they took care of the king's nails. In the tomb, they are often shown with their families, but what's really interesting is that they are also shown holding hands and hugging each other. Some people think they were just good friends, while others believe they might have been twins. After looking closely at the pictures in the tomb, some experts now think they were probably twins. This idea has caused a lot of discussion among scholars, with everyone having different opinions. The tomb's drawings give us new clues that support the idea that Niankhkhnum and Khnumhotep were twins. Some experts think that Niankhkhnum and Khnumhotep were more than just friends. They believe their close bond might have been romantic because they often touch each other in ways that married couples do in pictures from a long time ago. They also noticed that Khnumhotep sometimes acts like a wife in the pictures. For example, he stands quietly next to Niankhkhnum in family scenes and even sniffs a flower like the women do. In some pictures, Khnumhotep seems more important than Niankhkhnum's actual wife, Khentikaus. But not everyone agrees. Some say the way they touch each other isn't necessarily romantic. They think it might show that they were very close brothers or twins. In ancient Egypt, twins were thought to have a special connection. Some experts even suggest they could have been seen as one person in the eyes of society because they had the same job title. Another idea is that they represented each other's spirits, called K, which was believed to live on after death. This is because they were linked to a god named Khnum, who was thought to create people's bodies and spirits. So, when they hugged in their tomb, it might have been a way to show that they were connected in a special way, even after death. Vasilyevich has a new idea about Niankhkhnum and Khnumhotep. She thinks they might have been identical twins, which means they looked exactly alike. This is important because in ancient Egypt, people might have treated identical twins differently from other twins. A mirrored scene or motif means there are two identical things happening, like two people facing each other or doing the same thing, but in opposite directions. We'll talk about some of these mirrored scenes in Niankhkhnum and Khnumhotep's tomb, starting with the pictures on the back wall of the entrance porch and then moving to room 2. These scenes usually show animals doing something, but people haven't paid much attention to them because they're more focused on the pictures of people in the tomb. There are two kinds of twins, fraternal and identical. Fraternal twins come from two different eggs fertilized by two different sperms, so they can look similar or different, just like regular siblings. But identical twins come from one egg splitting into two, so they are exactly the same, like natural copies of each other. They have the same genes and look and act very similar, even down to small things like having the same cowlicks or wrinkles but on opposite sides. Identical twins are rarer than fraternal twins and have more risks during pregnancy, like being born too early or having health problems. It's hard to know for sure, but there might have been both fraternal and identical twins in ancient Egypt. Even though we can't say for certain, it's interesting to think about how people back then might have seen twins like Niankhkhnum and Khnumhotep. The word twin wasn't used in ancient Egypt until much later, around the time of the 22nd dynasty. Before that, people didn't talk much about twins. Some experts think this might be because people didn't like twins back then, but others think it's because more twins started surviving later on, maybe because doctors got better at helping moms have babies. Back in ancient Egypt, if twins did survive, it was a big deal because it didn't happen very often. And if they were identical twins who looked exactly alike, it would be even more special. Now, when we look at the decorations in the tomb of Niankhkhnum and Khnumhotep, we see something interesting. The pictures on the walls show things that are the same on both sides, almost like a mirror image. This is unusual and makes us think that maybe Niankhkhnum and Khnumhotep were identical twins. This would explain why there are so many matching pictures in their tomb. Some people used to think that ancient Egyptians didn't like twins, but now we think that the pictures in Niankhkhnum and Khnumhotep's tomb actually show how special their twin bond was.